Hello, Steve here. Welcome to Real Health. Who'd have thought health is about what we're eating? Join me on my quest to disseminate my go-to health regimen, the Health 44, my clumsy branding of eliminating 4 classes of food, introducing 4 classes of micronutrients. Bingo, bongo, health sorted. So thank you for your interest. Let's do this. Welcome again. Today's episode that you've clicked on, when obesity, those 2% successful, that's not the title, it's the concept. What's the title? I don't know, it's what you clicked on, but basically the successful weight loss people, they're not out of the health issues yet. Okay, so there's many a episode I've done on obesity, the causes of obesity. I mention chromium vanadium often. That's where you're deficient in, and by taking just chromium vanadium, some suggest including zinc in that as well, it's not enough. You need to supplement with all the 90 declared essential micronutrients to which acts in synergy to solve the problem. It solved it for me. It will solve it for you once you understand the whole Health 44. I'll jump into the Health 44 because I need to. Low production like this, unprepared, there's just this guy riffing. But for the one-off listeners, the Health 44, the first 4 of the 44 to then equal health is cutting 90+% of the supermarket glutens, oils, sugars, nitrates out. Then you add the 4 classes of micronutrients. That's the 44. There's 90 declared essential micronutrients, and there's 60 of them are minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 2 essential fatty acids. That makes up 90. There's probably more, but the last one was discovered in 1998, I believe, choline. So there you go. Once those 2% of people which are successful weight loss people over 5 years, once they continue to keep their weight off, and there's even less that supplement right with the whole Health 44, those people that are continuing to be successful into 10 years and beyond, they're still, if they're not supplementing, if they're not stopping their gluten intake, and the other 3, oils, sugars, nitrites, they'll still be dying at the same sort of age as a couch-sitting, Cheeto-eating, Netflix-watching Westerner. Even Richard Simmons from the 80s, the little flamboyant aerobics guy, just died recently, age 76. He didn't even reach 80, and he was, so healthy, whatever. No. See? You lived earlier than a couch-sitting, Netflix-watching, Cheeto-eating Westerner. That's been my catchphrase for the average Joe. So you aren't out of the woods. I'm not sure if Richard Simmons in the last years of life continued to keep his weight off. I barely saw images of him probably 10 years ago with a bit of a plump face. So he wasn't even out part of the 2% perhaps. So if you're continuing to keep that weight off by sheer force, the less calories, the greater activity, you are increasing your nutrient deficiencies. The torture those people are going through, I know that torture because I kept weight off for like a decade plus in the past. By sheer force, I became a triathlete to keep it off. I even went to World Championships. And after these races, in the middle of the race, by leading a race, winning a race, I'm probably on the podium, I'm still thinking, as I'm slugging along in the final leg of the run, I'm still thinking of that pizza, the burger, or the ice cream. after the race. Absolute shocker. So you aren't out of the woods, those people that are applying their weight loss and keeping their weight off by sheer force. The sheer physics of less caloric intake, more activity, which we've also understood with mice and rodents, of course. It is what works and what we understand, but only for about 2.2 seconds, because you're going to be suffering. And some of you that are keeping it off, and you're thinking about going on your 10-mile run, you don't need to do it. I was one of them. I was digging myself a grave even faster until I stumbled onto this Whole Health 44, which I'm giving to the world for free for now. Well, for free forever, but if you want some focus and it's pretty hard for you with all the nuances involved, I can work with you. In the show notes, I do have my services available. So, while you restrict caloric intake, you're also restricting your micronutrient intake from the foods we eat. If you're not supplementing as part of that, you're even more stuffed. If you are supplementing, you're probably even more stuffed if you're not using colloidal minerals, your vitamin B12 in the form of at least methylcobalamin instead of cyanocobalamin. If you're exercising to adhere to the whole calories in, calories out idea, there's some truth in there. Of course there's truth because it works, and that's why we're fixated on it. But it's a hard road, and by exercising, you sweat. You have to sweat. If you're at least in zone 2, the whole fat burning thing. If you're sweating and not supplementing even more, you're losing the micronutrients that were bound for your physiology, for your cells. If you drink caffeine on top of that, you're leaching even more minerals, especially. And you need the minerals to make the vitamins, the amino acids, and the essential fatty acids to work. Checking the time and checking if it's recording. I've got this new contraption happening, seeing what sort of value it can add to my stitching together on that. I don't stitch together, it's just adding the intro. Well, yeah, anyway. So, and I'm using another mic, which I need another contraption for, because it doesn't work on my phone. God damn it. So, athletes, hard workers in the sun, labourers, weekend warriors, when you're sweating and you drink coffee and not supplementing right, that's it. You won't live past the average Joe that's, you guessed it, smoking, Cheeto eating, couch sitting, watching Netflix or YouTube reels or whatever they play, shorts and all that sort of thing. And also, calories aren't calories either. If you eat a pound of beef, whatever the calories are with a pound of beef, a whole pound of beef might be, what's that, 1,200, 1,500 calories? Gee, that's quite a bit, is it? Anyway, going on that example of 1,000 calories, with all the processing involved, the unpacking of the branched chain amino acids and repacking through the physiology later on, all that sort of thing, it takes energy, and that 1,000 calories of beef that you just ate works out to 750 in energy to your physiology, versus the sugars and the carbs, the complex carbs, the starches, straight in, 1,000 equals 1,000. It might even be more, I don't know, because the reason why I say more is because eating a bit of potato and bread, you go more. You can go easily more. Pasta, you can go a steak after your pasta. Yeah, that's where it gets you. In focusing on the calories in, calories out bit, but it's not about that. So if you are satiated with the micronutrients, you won't have that craving for the crisps, for the pizza, the ice cream, the burgers, and beyond. And even I've heard recently Ben and Jerry's are restructuring their pricing to account for. They're not even mentioning people that successfully manage their weight. They're accounting for the mega adoption of Ozempic. That was funny. Did I yell at the screen when I heard that? Or was it in my ears? So there you go. You aren't out of the woods if you are successful in your, if you're one of the successful people in those stats, the 2%-ish, it might be 5%, it might be 1%, but if you're doing it by sheer force, by sheer vanity, you're not out of the woods if you're not supplementing more when you exercise and cutting out the caffeine. Even I was like 3 years in, I was still loading up on caffeine. It was still working for me in getting enough micronutrients in, but by effectively reducing my caffeine by 95%, I've improved my state, and then I'm trying now halving my micronutrients to see. I effectively healed myself. I've got ample supply. I've healed my conditions, and see how I go with cutting my my micronutrient dose, because I've drastically cut down the caffeine, because a little bit of you do still get a little bit of caff in your decaf, and I've gone organic as well. Organic decaf. That sounds like a soy boy thing. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I still need that 5% of caffeine intake to ward off those the awful withdrawal effects over 2 days. I'm not even going to accept half a day. I've tried that 15 years ago. Shocker, absolute shocking moment of time in my life. How am I going with time? I feel I've nearly exhausted myself already in my 13th minute. Wow. So I won't fill more in this episode. I have made my point. Okay, just quickly once again, if you're a successful weight losser over 5 years and it's sheer force and willpower that you're relying on, and you're not supplementing, cutting your caffeine and doing the Health 44, you're still going to die, even probably before the couch sitting, Cheeto eating, smoking Westerner, because you're going into more micronutrient deficit. That's it. Thanks for your interest. Do come back, even though I just riff and I'm not prepared. I have a few thoughts in my mind before I start playing, but it's valuable. I'm going to be one of those 2% stats probably next year. Yes, next year. And it's easy peasy. I don't even exercise. People think I exercise because of my physique, but if I do 1 minute, well, I do 1 minute now, 1 minute of calisthenics. At the moment, it's only reduced to one pull-up and some dips because I tore my pectoral. But even before, I was only doing pretty much a minute, not even a minute and a half per day. That's it. So there you go. I'm not even doing much. I've referenced before that I wanted to be Australia's fastest 70-year-old. And I did a couple of runs recently, and my first run, at the 25th metre or so, I thought my quads were going to rip up off the bone, and I pulled out of that run through at 35 or so metres. And so I've got 19 years to go. It's and I'm relying on people dying, competitors dying off, you do see those. There's this 85-year-old running, beating everyone with a bit of a pot belly and all that sort of thing. Certainly looking 85 years old as well. But that's just... Imagine if he was doing the whole 44. He'd still be probably doing 14 seconds. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. I know I was that's hitting before, but that's it for now. Certain. Bye-bye.